BVB.
Bradford A. Here we are.
Look at us. Where are we? I don't know. Where are we?
2023. And I think this is our first podcast on YouTube. I don't know. Is that international sign for YouTube? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
But here we are on YouTube doing our podcast. Isn't this amazing? Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year to you. This is our first podcast of 2023. I hope you had a good New Year.
Dude, I did have an amazing New Year. I was in Nashville. What a party it was. It was a great time.
Amazing.
And holidays were good. And I'm back to work.
Yes.
And ready to rock 2023 right now. What about you? How was your New Year's Eve? Well, you know what? Hold on. I know we had some weather up by you.
Yeah.
Because I was doing the SAC Anime Convention, and there's been weather along the coast of California, probably everywhere in California, but especially up by you. I think you guys got it the worst.
When I was hanging outside the convention hall trying to catch a glimpse of you, I was outside and I just was getting pelted by the rain and the wind. I was like, no, Steve, I know him. Can I go in because I say hi to him? I know him.
That's so crazy, dude.
No, you needed a badge. I didn't have a freaking badge.
You know what's so stupid about that convention center? It's a nice convention center, of course, but all cement. So the cell service is horrible. I couldn't even text majority of the time I was in there. And then they charge you $80 a person to get if you really need Wi-Fi.
What?
It was crazy.
$80 for Wi-Fi?
They didn't even have Wi-Fi, bro. So anyway, we were texting, we were trying to get together, but that night, I think it was Saturday night, man, that was crazy. That weather was crazy.
Oh, totally.
What was it? A hurricane, a cyclone? What the heck was cyclone?
I think the weather event is called a bomb cyclone, which sounds worse than it could. I mean, it's terrible. Atmospheric rivers and bomb cyclones. I don't know. Lots going on. New Year's Eve was like kind of the first one, and we lost power at like 10 minutes to 9, and we had this whole plan to like watch the 9 p.m. like the Eastern New Year's with the kids. The ball drop, power went out. So we watched some of it on our phone. Also the Ohio State game. Didn't the Ohio State game, we lost power right as that, like with 30, like a minute left? Well,
that's what everybody got mad because like for the game winning kick, it was literally at the same time the ball dropped in New York, literally within seconds.
That's right.
Which was crazy. I was in Nashville, so I was an hour behind, so I didn't care. Right. So, but you were smart enough to recognize. I remember talking to you. You go, "There's going to be storms up here, and I'm sure the power is going to go out."
Yeah.
That's what you kept telling me.
Well, it was like this light started flickering around 7:45, 8, and I was like, why don't I plug in my Bluetooth speaker that I haven't used in probably a year and a half? So in my estimation, this thing was completely dead. I plugged it in for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And I was like, and then the power went out. I was like, all right, let's try it. It lasted. This is not a Bose Wave radio. Those were the things that you put CDs in that some hotels still have. You know what I'm talking about.
Not any hotels we stay at.
Well, but they used to have like infomercials too, the Wave radios. You remember these?
Totally.
Yeah. But it was a Bluetooth speaker, and it played from like 9 p.m. to 12:30. We had a dance party by candlelight. It actually turned out to be
who has that many candles?
I know. Speaking of miracles,
that's like a love scene on a soap opera.
So Kira, right? Exactly right.
I mean, like when you did your love scene, remember? One love scene.
I remember
one
fondly.
Love scene
Lasted for a long time.
Long time, not really, but. All of a sudden, you guys start kissing, and then you're in bed, and there's like 74 candles lit.
I know. If the viewer, well, I guess for Spinelli, maybe the viewer would be like, "Oh yeah, that tracks." Spinelli would have,
I don't know,
lit 78 candles. But I think it was after. So I think we're going way off topic here, but I think it was directly after karaoke night when he sang, "Ooh. I want to know what love is to her."
Oh, so maybe he had it planned.
Well, but you can't light them before you go to karaoke night. The poor penthouse would have burned down.
I know, but that's the genius of these battery ones now that look like candles.
Battery what?
All right, get back to your New Year's Eve story, you dummy.
But the fact that he would have brought her back to the penthouse and then be like, "Hey, just wait downstairs. I got 78 candles to light." I don't think I kind of would have ruined the trajectory.
Moment.
The
Yes.
trajectory.
Well, the what? Wow, this is going south. Yeah, go back down. Straight
or
down.
north, as it were. All right.
So south. Go back south. You're going south.
But so we ended up Kira had some Kira put a bunch of candles in. We got, you know those like Le Creuset Dutch ovens things. Well, we have a cheap Target one. We have a cheap Target one. So she put a bunch of candles in there. So like that really lit like the backsplash.
Cool.
And then awesome. And then it just so happened that I bought some under cabinet under shelf lights for our desk areas.
Yeah, and I infomercial, right?
Or Amazon, yeah, sure. And they'd come the day before and they were charged, and so those were great. So we were pretty well set up. So yeah, but that was New Year's Eve, and it became a little romantic. I will tell you.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I wish I was there with you.
Yeah, it would have been even more romantic. But yeah, and then the next time we lost power was the night you were in town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because I didn't hear anything that I talked to you that morning and I didn't hear anything, but I look out, trees are down on the street. Like it was madness.
Yeah. I mean, what's great about Sacramento is that it is a city of trees. You get like all these beautiful mature trees. We get foliage. It's awesome. But when you get pelted with the kind of rain we did, and then the wind, the ground gets so saturated that the soil becomes softer and it doesn't hold the roots anymore. So some of these big trees that are healthy trees too, but like when you get 70-mile-an-hour wind and rain drenched dirt.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, so it's been pretty, we're in kind of a newer neighborhood. So the trees are short. So we don't have any,
and downtown was packed. It was the inauguration. It was like we had a convention that 30,000 people went to. Like it was so.
Sac Anime had 30,000 people.
20 to 30,000 people show up over the weekend. Yeah,
that's crazy. Amazing. Different than RewindCon.
Wow. Yeah, a lot different than that one that we did back then. Yeah, that was different. That was different. And this is like a lot of the other cons do actors, they'll do horror stuff. Like there's a lot that have all in one, this was music, just voice? Whatever, but this just anime, just anime, illustration and voice. Yes.
Right. So you would have artists that did much, like actual
voice actors, just anime voice actors.
Right. But so nobody else from that industry, whether they are creators or, okay. No. Just all voices. Just
voice. I think there's 25 voice actors.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was cool though. But anyway,
did you and George together? Was it pretty big hit?
Me and George together, yeah. It was the biggest. It was the best one he's ever had at Sacramento because he's done them before. So, us teaming up together is going to be great. In the ones that we do. So
yeah.
But it's interesting. You don't go to every one every year. You go every 2 years.
Oh, I see. Just to kind of spread out.
Right. I guess to keep the demand up or whatever.
We never learned that with our comedy.
No, we did not learn that for Stone Cold and the Jackal.
Hey, this was great. Can we come back next week?
Yeah. Hey, this is awesome. We'll be back next month.
We'll be back.
Oh, you want to see our holiday show? Okay, great.
Yeah.
You want to see our Thanksgiving show? That's coming up.
Gobble, gobble.
You want to see our Halloween show? Yep. It's going to be amazing.
Boo.
St. Patrick's Day. We can't wait to see you guys for St. Patrick's Day. Valentine's Day is one of our favorite holidays. Oh boy. Okay. So maybe we should. That will segue into why we're on YouTube now.
Yeah. So you can see.
We've been banned from 50. No, we've been banned from 52 states. That's why, right there.
So you may wonder. You're like, wait a second. We've seen some of your podcasts on YouTube before, but this one seems new and current and fresh.
That's true. It is. It is current. It sure is.
We'll give you a little. We'll give you a little history of how the podcast has.
How YouTube started.
How it started, where we went, and why we're here. So we started this because I've gone through it all because I've had to.
Wow, let me hear it. I want to hear some stats. I need some data or data. How do you say it?
Either one. I'm not gonna fault you for that.
Data.
Tata. That one especially. That one works really well. We started in 2018 and we were self-publishing. We had no affiliations to anybody. We didn't have any sponsors. We were just like, let's figure out how to do this and let's go. And so we did.
Yep.
And
we did.
And it was really fun. And we were like watching to see how many people listened and just kind of experimenting with the medium and figuring out what we would do in this kind of thing and medium.
Yeah.
And it went pretty well and we were having a lot of fun and we really enjoyed the long form aspect of the interviews that we did. And we enjoyed talking to each other like in long form fashion once a week.
Yep.
And so then this network called Podcast One reached out to us and said, hey, we'd love you to be a part of our network. And we were like, okay. Especially because when we started, we reached out to a bunch of networks being like, hey, wouldn't it be cool?
I know. Remember that?
Yeah. You thought you were pretty confident and you're pretty good at pitching things.
Yeah, dude, I was confident and I couldn't get anybody on the phone at that one place. Yeah, I was literally calling everybody in the building.
Right.
Like multiple people who had no idea who I was. They're like, what do you know? I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. It's amazing how people assume that daytime is not a viable thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that like
we've been fighting against that for 20 years.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
It's crazy. Like it really is crazy.
Yes. And you know what?
That's why I have to do everything myself.
Right. Yeah.
Because no one believes in us. But nobody does believe. Honestly, nobody believes in us. So I have to do it myself. Here we are.
And here we are.
And you.
So, but what usually gets us through that is work ethic and ultimately you guys that are listening, you guys that are watching, because 100%. You guys come out in a way that people can't even believe. Like the energy that you guys have, the passion that you guys have. Well, that's what happened with us in comedy clubs. You guys came out. And they're like, whoa.
Yeah, like on a Tuesday night, right?
On a Tuesday night.
They're like, no one sells on a Tuesday night. And then you guys sell the place out for us. And they're like, I don't even understand what's going on here. How is this even possible? We've never seen a Tuesday night sold out. This is crazy talk.
So that's all because of
our
you
fans,
guys.
Man.
That's our fans. Yeah.
So thank you guys. Yeah.
And so we were with Podcast One for about 3 years and we had a lovely time with them. We're very grateful to them. But we were coming up on another year with them and we realized we just kind of needed to shake things up a little bit. We weren't sure what we wanted this podcast to be anymore. And we realized, I think from a lot of feedback, that you guys like to watch. I was like, yeah, there's no other better way to say it.
Okay, weirdo. You driving a van around the neighborhood? What are you doing over there? Are you in a back of a van right now? Yes. Well, obviously the video format's much better for, our audience. They want to see us talk and have fun and laugh and all that stuff, right? It's great to have it audio wise. I listen to a lot of things in the car on YouTube, by the way, interviews with people I want to see. So you could also stream it through your, in your car and your Bluetooth. But the cool thing is about this is like, when COVID hit, we really started our YouTube channel. We were like, hey, this is fun. And you and I were having a lot of fun doing it.
Yes.
And you guys were responding well to it. We did, 7 questions. We did bad jokes. That was hilarious. And we had so much fun. We had interviews and it was just such a great format for us. And we kind of shied away from it because we were going on the road so much. We had our comedy show last year. Yeah. Doing 30 especially with the holiday shows, doing 40 plus dates.
Yes.
So we didn't really have time to focus on everything.
Right.
So this year, we knew things were going to shake up a little bit since I'm not on the show on General Hospital anymore. I'm on Days of Our Lives now, but we still wanted to do things digitally and create still because we have a lot of fun. And, there's not a lot of content out there for daytime. And we want to provide that content. So we saw this as an opportunity to go, hey, why don't we just move it over to YouTube and make YouTube one of our the main place that you guys get to see us.
Right.
And then we don't have to read ads and do all those things that, become, kind of cumbersome. Let's just leave it at that. Leave it at that.
I will say a couple more things. I remember, I don't know, one of the episodes that we did that, really really traveled well. It might have been the one where we talked about, friendship in 2022. That one, um, a lot of people, like maybe first time listeners, was like, this sounds like an infomercial. Like,
Right.
because there were some times where you'd have an episode and you might have 5 sponsors. And so you maybe take 2 breaks and you do 3 reads per break. And it's a lot. It's a lot to listen to.
Sometimes it
And,
is. Yeah.
so as grateful as we are for those sponsors that we had,
Yeah, of course.
there was something freeing about not having to do that, and also not
Mhm.
having to. There's not as much editing to do, frankly, like in that respect either. Which so
Sure.
the whole process can be pretty streamlined. So yeah, and I got to say though, if you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify right now, that's not going to change.
Yeah.
We're still going to upload the audio to the podcast feeds,
Mhm.
but we're back independent now. So the
Yeah.
audio will
So
still go up there. So if you still listen there, that's great. But just know that the same day that it goes up there, you can watch it on YouTube. So
yeah,
if you're
and I'm
listening
excited,
that way,
dude.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's there's obviously a lot going on. I got a lot going on with my coaching business now and everything, and work. But I love what we do. I love the friendship we have. I love the creative partnership that we have.
yeah,
And we are going to do some things this year. We're talking about a weekend experience,
yeah.
where we're going to do music, comedy, a lot of stuff in one weekend, and then we got more holiday shows coming up. So it just gives us a little flexibility. Maybe you do some more songs, to do whatever it is we want to do. Maybe
Right.
even have a little party here on YouTube one day. I don't know.
What?
Like it just opens everything up for us. We're not confined to one medium, so to speak,
Yeah,
where we just have to go, okay, we got to be there, but we want to be here because YouTube's the place. Like
yeah.
this is it, and we have a lot of fun. So we're gonna create new things. We're gonna probably bring back some bad jokes because
We
we
missed
sure
them.
did have fun. We do we do miss those.
We may
So,
even
and we're
try to
gonna have
get
some
other
guests.
people to tell us bad jokes.
Oh, that would be even better. Like
Yeah.
some of our guests. So we're gonna have guests some weeks. Some weeks we won't.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of people on days who want to do the podcast too. So it's just gonna be great, man. Gonna have a great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So if you're listening, if you're not watching this on YouTube right now, if you're listening somewhere else, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page, because that's where a lot of the stuff you're going to see, all the stuff you're going to see is going to be there. But yeah. So how is work, man?
Works good, man. It was busy right before the holidays. It was
I
super
know.
busy. This week wasn't as bad. It's just crazy, man. Because just people get sick and all these things happen, and you got to do. We're used to doing shows all over the place anyway.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like piecing them together.
Mhm.
But man, this one show I'm doing I think it's been 5 days almost. Like
A
we did
single
one
episode?
scene. Yeah, we did one scene today. We do one scene next week. We did 2 the prior week, and then one like 3 weeks before that.
Is that just because of scheduling and illness, or is it because
It
of
was
sets?
yeah, it was just all those things.
All those things.
All
Yeah.
those things.
So
Yeah,
many, so
yeah.
many
So
variables in there now. Yeah.
so many, yeah, but it's all good. They're loving being on Peacock, and so if you haven't seen Days, it's over on Peacock now, and we're having some fun.
Dude,
So
I'm not sure about you, but I felt like we were playing with fire a little bit, like doing the holiday show that we did, and then like I haven't I got to knock on something right now. I haven't got a cold.
knock on wood.
I haven't got anything the whole season. Like, and I got kids, and why did I say that? That was so dumb. Now I'm gonna wake up tomorrow with a sore throat. But you know what I'm saying? Like we got I don't know. I feel like I dodged a bullet, man.
Well,
So
we saw a lot of people. I was trying to be really, mindful of everything. And then,
yes.
of course, I go to SAC Anime, and there's 5,000 people standing in front of me.
Well,
So-
yeah. Did they have any mitigation for that, or was it like the old, like just
No.
like old days?
Yeah, it was the old days. But not a lot of people take pictures.
Because that's a different thing.
Most people are there to get things signed.
Sure.
So you do have some space. Sometimes there are some pictures, but you can kind of mitigate that as much as you can. So, and not that I
Okay.
did with selfies, but
Yeah. When people
but
come up
most of it's getting signed.
when people
So-
come up to get something signed, can they ask for a selfie? or do they have to do that separately?
That's a separate thing.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
everything in a convention is
A la carte.
single individual items or packaged together. You can get an
Sure.
autograph, you can get a picture, and you can get a selfie for this.
Right.
It's different than what we were used to with our audience is not used to this
Right.
structure.
Yes.
Right. But all these convention con people, anime fans, whatever, they're so used to this structure that they're like, okay, I'll take that. And then I had a lady pay, like, it was crazy, dude, for 29 things to get signed.
Oh, because
I'm the voice of Cloud. So she had all these collectibles that she's been collecting for over the years because I haven't done the cons.
Right.
So she's like, I got to get these signed as much as fast as I can.
Right.
So
and
crazy.
The way they structure that, not you, but the convention, it's like
it's individual
for each thing.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's because I remember when we did that kind of failed con that we mentioned earlier, Rewind Con, like I had never done a convention, because soaps, the biggest things that we did were Super Soap
Club Weekend or Super Soap.
Yeah. And that is, you get into the room and then it's like, it's fair. Everything's fair game. There is right. Like basically it's the ticket is for time spent. It's whether you're coming to the show or then if you're going to like take a hang out afterwards, it's it's nothing is a la carte. It's all inclusive. Everything is usually all inclusive.
Correct. Yeah.
So that's a major shift for us, but but that's cool. That's cool, man.
Man. It's a whole new world. So I'll be doing 4 or 5 of those this year and we'll see what happens. So
nice. Well, waiting to see what happens with Spinelli on GH.
Yes.
There is now this was interesting. They said that the hook was revealed, but not everybody's buying it.
Who was it supposed to be?
Heather Weber.
It's never the first one, is it?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Is she under Helena's control? Is there a mind control here? What's going on?
Oh boy. Can you imagine like how in this day and age are we getting zany? Are we getting zany?
I mean, we're on soap operas. I don't see why we wouldn't get zany.
All right.
Is it Brit? That's what people are talking about over there.
Brit's DED.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not her then.
She got hooked
by her. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Patreon.
She was at the wrong place in the wrong time. And she I think she had a diagnosis where she thought she was going. And so they kind of set it up where she was I think the audience thought that maybe she would die from her illness. And then it was the hook. And she died in Obrecht's arms.
Oh, no, that's not nice.
But the work was beautiful.
I mean, you'd rather die in someone's arms than under a rock in a cave.
I just died in your arms tonight.
You didn't get my joke?
Must have been. Wait, say it again.
I said you'd rather die in somebody's arms than under a rock in a cave.
Maybe
we will rock you. I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some other things we got going on. We do have Patreon going on. We've had it going on for a while now. There's awesome stuff over in Patreon. Motivation Monday, behind the scenes clips. We got Thirsty Thursday.
We go live. We go live every week. They're usually
live
Wednesdays.
Every week. Yeah. Yep. And then we do a hang every month.
Right. This month. This awesome. Month's hang.
This month.
Is Sunday, January 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We do a Zoom meeting. We're all on screen together. We hang out. It's awesome.
You guys can ask questions. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And we just got a lot of content over at Patreon, and it's a great group, great community. Yeah. Full of love and positivity, and just a lot of fun for us. It's been amazing, and we're gonna do more over there too. Like is not being on the road frees us up a little bit to do some things that we used to do. Like we used to do like a pub trivia night. We would do some crazy stuff. So go check out Patreon. We'll put a link down here in the description, and we're just looking forward to being here with you guys. So
yes, so stay tuned for more. This is just kind of the first. We're dipping our toe in the water here. So get ready. Thanks.
Don't threaten me.
Okay.
All right. You guys are awesome.
All right. We'll talk to you next week, everyone.